What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Trey. Today I want to talk about cardiophobia, the signs and symptoms. Basically, in a nutshell, this is heart anxiety. It's kind of a subcategory of health anxiety. So guys, go ahead and smash the like button down below if you're ready to kick anxiety in the butt. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you have ever struggled with heart anxiety or cardiophobia or health anxiety in general. Leave a comment down there. And guys, if you enjoy this content, if you want to kick anxiety in the butt, make sure that you have hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications by hitting the bell next to it so you get updates when I put these videos out. So with that being said, let's jump right into this. Now guys, many of you know that I've dealt with health anxiety for a very long time in the past. I suffered for 5 long years, and this is kind of one of the primary reasons I started this channel. I made a lot of videos over heart anxiety a long time ago, but I have a lot of new subscribers. Some of you may have not watched those videos, so I wanted to update you guys and share with you my past. These videos can help out a lot, especially being able to relate with other people, and just knowing that you're not alone is very, very powerful. And that's something I didn't even have back in the day. I thought I was one of the only ones that suffered from this, but luckily I have the leverage now in the audience to share my story with and try to improve your life. So this all started out with a very, very long panic attack. It was the very first panic attack I ever had. It lasted 6 freaking hours, man. Every symptom you could imagine. Of course, what led up to this was a weekend of partying. I was drinking with my friends, smoking, eating horrible food, staying up. I didn't get any sleep at all. And this was kind of the trend probably a couple years before this first panic attack happened. I was a partier. I liked to hang out with my friends. I got into very bad habits with that. So it caught up with me, okay? And I jumped up in the middle of the night after getting back and finally trying to get some rest. And I had a palpitation and my heart just boom, 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 boom. I was like, what the heck is this? What's going on? What's going on? The more I concentrated on it, the worse it got. My chest immediately got tight. My chest started to hurt very, very badly. I started to sweat. My heart rate went up. My shortness of breath became more evident. I got chills. Then it turned into tingling and then numbness. So that started to really freak me out. And at that point, I developed this crazy depersonalization type feeling, derealization feeling. I felt like I was kind of above my body watching it. Everything felt surreal. And I literally thought that I was passing from this life to the next. The way my mind felt at that moment was, it's hard to really describe. It was basically in shock. I felt like I was in shock. I was like, I cannot believe this is happening. My whole life was like flashing before my eyes. I was like, this is it. So I jump up and like all these symptoms, like, okay, I run to my computer, I start typing in the symptoms, and it all pointed to a heart attack. And this is at the very beginning of my health anxiety. In fact, you could argue it was day 1. So I didn't know that Googling would make things worse. So I was like, oh my God, I'm having a heart attack. Even though when I looked at my risk factors for my age, everything was like 0.001%. I don't remember the exact number, but it was ridiculously low and a rare number. I thought I was that number. I was like, oh my God, this is happening. So I called my mom. She's a nurse. Late at night, she doesn't answer for a few hours. Finally, she gets back with me. I was like, Mom, I'm dying. You need to come get me right now. She comes by. She checks my Bible. She said, Trey, you're having a panic attack. This is not a heart attack. Very low risk for me to have this. So I was like, okay. And I thought that would be the end of it. Little did I know, for the next 5 years, I was going to deal with health anxiety and these panic attacks every single day. So I get back home and then my chest starts to hurt again. And it was from all that muscle tension. And guys, I tell you this all the time, muscle tension is huge for chest pain. Huge. It's one of the primary areas I feel like anxiety affects is our chest muscles. It really, really tightens up there. And not only is it causing pain, but it's restricting our breathing as well. Okay, so that's something that I dealt with. So that hurt for like 2 weeks straight. And I didn't have a panic attack, I don't believe, the next day, but after that, I would wake up with this chest pain and then panic attacks started happening on the regular, and then that's how I developed panic disorder. I was having 5 to 10 of these a day, and I was thinking that these panic attacks were heart attacks. So this was just getting really embedded in my subconscious. I was really freaking myself out. I was being extremely irrational. I was looking up all these research papers and studies and all this stuff about heart disease. I was looking up cases of people my age having heart problems or having heart attacks. The more I researched, the more I Googled, the more obsessed and certain that I had heart disease, okay? So this is something that you have to stay away from if you have cardiophobia or health anxiety. I always encourage you guys to not be Googling your symptoms. So cardiophobia basically It's going to be having sensations or symptoms in and around your chest area, okay? So we're talking about high blood pressure, fast heart rate, chest pain, things of that nature. And chest pains can be jabbing, sharp, dull, radiating, pounding, crushing. I had all types of chest pain in this area. And then once I felt that sensation, the palpitation would happen, the heart rate, of course, that's what that is, the tachycardia, and then my blood pressure would follow after that. My respiration would get much, much faster, so my breathing would get a lot more shallow, so that's where my shortness of breath factor would come in. But it was also had to be accompanied by this fear of having a heart attack or dying from a heart problem. So you tie in that's basically cardiophobia, and then you start to find out that any type of stress or anxiety trigger in your life leads to those similar symptoms. So the first 2.5 years of my 5 years of health anxiety, that was my focus. Anything that stressed me out went right here to the center of my chest because that was my focus, that was my fear. So basically, guys, I want you to understand how powerful this is. This is extremely, extremely powerful. I am a firm believer in us focusing symptoms in certain areas. I was that kind of guy that I could literally focus on my left arm and pain would appear in that left arm. That was how automatic it was. So automatically, anytime I was stressed, anytime I would get in a car for a long drive, anytime I would be in a stressful situation at work, anything remotely stressful, my pain symptoms would really pop up in my chest. Now, I did have general symptoms in other parts of my body, don't get me wrong, and I did have general fears about other issues. But 99% of my focus was on my heart. It got so bad, guys, that anytime I saw the word heart, anytime I saw an article about somebody dying from a heart attack, anytime I saw a smoker commercial showing scars from heart surgery, from heart attacks, anytime I even saw a commercial with a side effect being it can cause a stroke or heart attack, I would flip out, I would freak out, and I would have a panic attack. Just by seeing that word, it was that triggering for me. So that shows you how deep I was into this. I had white coat syndrome anytime I would go to the doctor or try to get testing done, which I encourage you to get that reassurance, but I'll get to that in just a second. My heart rate would jump up, my blood pressure would jump up, and my chest would start hurting when they put the blood pressure cuff on me. Whenever they put the thing on my finger to test my heart rate and my oxygen levels, that would go up. So this put me in the emergency room many times. I have spent the night in my car in case I was having a heart attack so I could run into the emergency room to get treated. I quit a job over this, a very good one, a general manager job. I went to the ER there. This was just a nightmare for me. It really, really wreaked havoc on my life. What I will say, guys, is that when this happens, don't be like me and spread my testing over 2.5 years. Don't get like your blood work done one day and then get an EKG done in like 8 or 9 months when you think things are serious. And then 2 years down the road, be like, whoa, I didn't get a stress test, so let me go do this. Get everything done initially. Tell the doctors, look, I need some reassurance. I need to get this figured out, handled right now. Tell me what's going on. I need a full explanation. Give me some advice on this. Guys, you have to get control of this early. Now, I know for some of you, you've already been dealing with this for a long time. Some of you are like watching this, you've only been dealing with this for like a month or two. Jump on this early. Get a handle on this now. Get your testing done. Get your reassurance. Put your trust into the doctors that are experts. I know it's hard to trust the doctors when you have these symptoms, but I'm going to tell you right now, these symptoms are real. You are feeling chest pain. Your heart rate is going up. Those blood pressure numbers that you're seeing are not fake, okay? But anxiety can cause those symptoms. So you always want to get checked. Make sure that you don't have any type of issues with your heart. For the most part, most of you are not going to have any issues, okay? This is anxiety. But for some of you, there might be something else going on, and that's just the truth. I'm not here to give you any dangerous information. But you need to make sure that you go get checked, get fully evaluated, make sure everything is cool and you're cleared to go. Then you start working on your anxiety. That's where the fun part comes in, all right? And it took me a long time. Like I said, after I stopped worrying so much about my heart, I started worrying about cancer. So you can see how this thing can manifest in a lot of different ways. Health anxiety is a very unique beast. It's relentless, it's brutal. It's very taxing. It crippled me emotionally, financially, physically, mentally, spiritually, everything. My life, was basically reduced to rubble. So I want you guys to know how powerful this stuff is and how important it is to get a handle on it. That's what these videos are about. So whenever I give you tips, guys, they are in the description down below. You have to follow those tips. And you have to do it every day. It took me almost a year of doing these tips to really overcome anxiety. And that was with me not seeing a therapist. So if you haven't seen a therapist, this is something that you're just counting out, you're making a mistake. CBT can be amazing for your anxiety recovery, and therapists are amazing at it. So there is a link in the description, like in all my videos, along with the tips. A lot of resources down there, by the way. You need to check out that link. You get a free evaluation. It's free to sign up. They're basically going to pair you up from your evaluation with somebody that can help you the best. And it's a lot cheaper than actually going to a therapist. I know many of you don't have a lot of options around you. That was one of the reasons I didn't do therapy. Also, you can do it on the phone, the laptop, the PC. But yeah, guys, if you haven't tried therapy, what are you waiting on? Try that out. It's a great opportunity. It can change your life. But if you're dealing with heart anxiety, cardiophobia, I hope this video was some value to you, mainly to make you feel not so alone, all right? And to basically show you that you need to get on this quickly, or it can take 2.5 years away from your life like it did for me. Overall, 5 years with the other fears that I had. But guys, I love you guys. Keep fighting. I know what you're going through. I know how scary chest pain can be. I know how scary your fast heart rate and blood pressure and all the other symptoms that accompany it. I know how bad that can be. You're not alone, all right? So keep fighting. I love you guys, and until next time, I'll talk to you later.